My name is Michael Lodish, and I came here. I work in an integrative health practice in Manhattan, and came here to expand and work out here in the Port Washington area, providing help for clients with stress management. So my practice involves two concepts, two parts. One is called biofeedback, which is like it sounds. You're getting feedback from the body about how it's reacting to stress, and that's integrated with counseling techniques. And this is, all in working together to help people manage the stressors of everyday life. So what I like to tell clients is that we're all exposed to stress. It's just a matter of the degree, but more in particularly the way that we process that stress within our mind and our body. So the difference is, for example, if you're sitting in traffic, there may be one person who is listening to the radio, singing along, recognizing that there's nothing they can do in traffic, they may run a little late, while another person is honking their horn, yelling at the drivers around them, just getting frustrated. And you can relate to this, evidently. Yes. And so what people often don't realize is there's not only that outward reaction, but it's having a physical effect on your body. And the areas that biofeedback measures through different devices is it looks at what's happening to you physically to raise awareness so you can make changes. So when for example, we'll use you, when you're getting frustrated in the car, getting agitated that you're not moving anywhere, most likely your skin temperature is cooling down, which means your blood vessels are constricting. So you're not getting, the blood is not flowing freely, which irritates the nerves, which can cause muscle tension. So a lot of people are muscular skeletal reactors. So in other words, they tense up. So those are two things that could be happening. Another is you might start to perspire because sweat gland activity is activated by your nervous system as well. And this is what biofeedback is looking at. You also, most likely what happens to people is their breathing, respiration goes off. And what happens is when you're not getting properly oxygenated, your mood, your mood gets anxious, depressed, frustrated, angry, and your body is not getting that oxygenated blood that it needs. And so again, you're in discomfort, and you may feel back pain, and again, muscle tension, all of those kind of things. And then we can actually measure muscle tension itself to see if there's tension there. And if you have that, often people get tension headaches from those stressors. And this is all about the autonomic nervous system. We have two key components to it that really are the kind of the yin and the yang, I would say, or the gas or the brakes, if we want to go to our car analogy, sitting in traffic. So the sympathetic is that gas, so that's the arousal where you're getting fired up, you're getting frustrated. And the parasympathetic is the calming down, is the brakes to bring you into balance. What happens is that we either have an actual stressor going on or a traffic, which I would say is a perceived stressor, that activates the nervous system, keeps it active. And what happens is it becomes toxic to your mind and your body if it's going too long. And so if you're not able to calm it down, you have a lot of health consequences physically and emotionally. And that's ultimately where I come in to be really a trainer and a coach to work with you over a number of visits to recognize awareness of all these physical, emotional symptoms that are happening and turn that around and be able to turn that stress response off and calm everything down. So the first part of it is measuring and creating that awareness. For a lot of people, like for example, you may not notice that you get cold hands and feet when you're under stressor. That's those blood vessels constricting. You may not notice that your shoulders or your back is tensing up. So we can measure all that, see where it is, see where the baseline is, provide a stressor, see where it goes to, and what biofeedback provides is that you can see it in real time. So it's actually telling your brain, and that's the start of changing it. It's telling your brain, okay, this is This is what I look like on stress. This is what's happening to me. And it's, there's been a lot of research and science behind this for over 30 years now, showing that you're actually turning, you're turning the tide on that sympathetic arousal, that active nervous system.
Just the awareness.
Just the awareness, and then seeing it in real time through the monitor, because you're gonna visually see that, and also knowing what it feels like to be stressed, where your breathing is off, where your skin temperature is not right, to where you are in this calm state. And the classic examples of that, a couple really great practices, not surprisingly, are yoga and meditation, because what those are geared to do is to calm everything down, is to turn that stress response off, is to bring your body into a state of balance and calm and reduce tension. The first biofeedback devices was a mirror and a scale, because you could see immediately, obviously, in the mirror if you're aging, if you're heavier than you would like to be or should be. And the same thing with the scale, you can specifically see your weight and where it's at. And when you visually see that, it sends a message through your brain to say, you know what, I need to make some changes here. If we had no scales and mirrors, maybe it would be a better world, but we would certainly lack awareness of where we're at, physically, emotionally. Well, I mean, I can easily say I've been working here for a little over a month now, and already it's fantastic. The practitioners here are all on the same page, and this is where healthcare needs to be, rather than sick care, as I'm sure you might have heard. And that is that it's integrative, that it is taking the best of Western medicine and combining it with the best of Eastern medicine and philosophy to have a truly integrated approach for the whole body. Because if the solution to any kind of health problem, whether it's physical or emotional, is a pill or surgery, that is not ultimately going to heal the person fully. Why? Because it's a reactive measure. And so each of the practitioners here are fantastic at getting that, valuing what they do, but also valuing what else is offered here. And so it's really that true integration of practice that treats the whole person and not only solves the immediate problems, but solves it for the long term. Doing it generally without that kind of needed intervention of medication or surgery, where you can do it naturally. Because the body has almost all the tools it needs to heal naturally. And that's what's so powerful, and it's so great to be in an environment like that as a practitioner. I as a practitioner, always say, you needs to be an integrated approach, so that you need to make sure that we're working with your primary physician. Absolutely, because there is concrete and, of course, a lot of science and research behind Western medicine, and we have wonderful treatments and healthcare in this country. However, I would then say, why not? A why not approach? Why not have these other services of integrated health to ultimately help you in a well-rounded place? And to tell you the truth, one of the most common reasons that people go into a doctor's office is because of stress-related symptoms. Because stress-related symptoms affect digestion, they affect your pain that you're feeling in your body, they affect asthma, attention deficit has been linked to this, even on the long term, heart disease and cancer. Because when those hormones are released into your body for too long, like cortisol and epinephrine, they become toxic. And the long-term effects of that are very significant. It affects even your skin. You can lose hair, all kinds of things. So it just, I would say to that person in the end, again, why not? This makes sense to integrate the best. Take the best of what's out there and you utilize all of it.
And can you get the best of what's out there integrative?
Well, I'm biased, obviously. I think the best place to come certainly would be here, based on the practitioners that we have, and that there's that buy-in to, respecting each person's discipline and bringing it all together.
Awesome. Thank you.